Today is June 23rd, 2007, and as you can probably see, it's overcast, very little wind, water temp fell back a degree. It's about 73 degrees, down from 74, which was yesterday. Very little wind. And sometimes when you are fishing, whether it be for bass, muskies, panfish, you go out there thinking you've got a certain presentation that you're going to catch the fish on, and because it's worked for you in maybe a previous trip or in previous years. And I've had a pretty good bite going on over the last 3 to 5 days on certain types of presentations. Well, today was a slice of humble pie as far as those presentations go. I tried crankbaiting, I tried worming, I tried spinner baiting, I tried husky jerking, covering the water column and the certain depths, and nothing. And I know the fish are basically in the same locations. It's just they're telling me that none of these previous presentations that I tried were going to work. So what helps as a fisherman is if you can interpret your electronics, your locators, and when you can see the fish and see the depth they're at, and then when you fish that depth correctly and you do not get bites, then you have to start figuring how to trigger these fish, or better yet, what mood they're in. And I finally was able to get a good bite and catch several nice bass. And I've got one real trophy bass in there. And what it took was fishing a lure that most bass fishermen fish in a very fast horizontal presentation, just totally opposite. This lure is a Bill Norman RattleTrap, and I'll show it to you. It's basically a no-brainer type lure. You can throw it out and you can burn it back and catch a lot of bass when these bass are very active and they're willing to chase lures down. Well, what I did with this was fish it like a jig. And you can do this for muskies too, especially with bigger muskie-sized RattleTrap. And that is to get out on the edge of the weeds, because my locator was showing me the marks real tight to the base of the deep weed line, and just follow that edge just like you were walking down a fence row in a field, and jig this thing and be very subtle with it, or be very violent with it. You can rip it up with just a rod sweep and let it just wobble back down. And that's what I was doing. And when I came into a pocket off a main lake bar, I was doing just that, just ripping it and let it go down and watching the line go down. And on one rip, the line started to go back into the water and it stopped, and I instantly set the hook. And this bass came this way. And you have to remember, certain lures can be fished a variety of ways, and a RattleTrap, just like a spinnerbait, can be fished in a variety of ways. So next time you're out bass fishing or muskie fishing and you're having a slow day, try a RattleTrap and try it totally different, especially if you have tried casting it out and burn it back. Get out on the weed lines, get out on the rock pile, and fish it like a jig. Let it hit the bottom and pull up very violently, and then watch your line going back. Let me show you this largemouth bass. I can get its mouth open. Look at that magombo. Right there. RattleTrap jigging. Never leave home without it, and don't ever forget not to try it, especially on a slow day. You will get far more success fishing this lure differently than what most people do. And with that, you have a great fishing season.